Hey guys, we are back with comedian Adam Hunter. Thank you for being on my little vlog, Adam.
I'm honored. I've been a big fan of yours, a friend and a fan, and love watching you fight and anything you want to do.
Oh,
Man.
All right. Well, I'm still new at this, so forgive my technical errors, but I'm not Ashley the fighter right now. I'm Ashley the interviewer.
Right. Got it.
So Adam here is not just a comedian. I'm going to give you guys a little rundown of his background, what he does right now, what he's done in the past. He is a comedian, a producer, a writer, a podcast host, which we just did right now.
Yes.
When is that going to...
The new podcast MMA ROASTED will be up tonight on Pluto TV and on iTunes and SoundCloud and Stitcher.
Cool, and I'm sure I'll put a link to that after we get finished here. He is also a wrestling coach for middle school?
Yes.
What middle school is that?
Paul Revere Middle School. I started the program 12 years ago, and actually now we have a high school program too at Palisades.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, any girl wrestlers?
We have a couple. I probably coached about in 12 years, like 8.
You've been coaching for 12 years?
Yeah, there's probably been 8 girls that have run through the program, and then we have 2 this year.
So Adam touches my heart because I'm a former wrestler, or always will be a wrestler, I guess. And I like to come in every once in a while. I haven't got to do it a lot with my own fight career, but go in and guest wrestling coach.
They loved you. She was great. They absolutely loved you. And it's cool to see the girls because, like, a lot of times the girls, they don't watch MMA, so, like, you're like, okay, you could do something after wrestling with this, so which is great.
A lot of little girls that I have talked to, they say later down the line, thank you for showing me that it's okay to be a girly girl, you know, dress up, wear makeup, and also be kind of tough on the mat. So
yes, and have neck tattoos as well.
Which... Not the best role model when it comes to that.
Yeah, yes, you are.
Adam, besides all of his awesome career endeavors, he is also a new husband. How long have you been married?
I've been married for 5 months. I love it. It was hard. Weddings are expensive. I couldn't afford to invite all my friends, so I tried to lose friends quickly. So I wrote "I love Trump" all over Facebook, and went out and got a romper. But I was going to invite my ex to my wedding and then get married on a podium and have her stand in second place. That was something I was going to do. But I'm newly married. I like it.
I didn't get invited to the wedding, so...
the next wedding you'll be invited to.
Oh, all right, awesome, cool. All right, and just a little background on what Adam's worked on. He was a finalist on NBC's Last Comic Standing. He was a host of MAV TV's Man Up, Stand Up, Showtime's White Boys into Hood. That seems really applicable for you. CBS's The Late Show, Chelsea Lately, Comic Unleashed. He's appeared on Conan O'Brien, Jimmy Kimmel, numerous countdown specials, MTV, VH1, the list goes on. He's very accomplished. Actually, I didn't even know you were on half of these things.
Well, now I'm on your YouTube show. This is the pinnacle.
Rebel Vlogs with Ashley Evans.
Hell yeah. Actually, this is one of my favorite things ever.
He's also done, which is close to my heart, a lot of U.S. tours for the military, Japan, Guam, Guantanamo. Did you ever do anything with the UFC?
No, the UFC. I helped send some people over.
Okay.
I helped coordinate a couple tours with the fighters, but yeah, no, I've been to Africa, Djibouti, Africa twice, Europe, Middle East, Japan. Like I said, yeah, I love doing shows for the military. That's my favorite.
I mean, Adam's been around the world. He's an active comedian, actor right now, and in Hollywood, he's writing. He was telling me a little bit about a show that he's trying to release. I don't know how much you can tell us about that, but do you want
to? It's basically like a show who could have the best set under the worst circumstances. So, like we told these dudes that they're getting a hot female stripper for their bachelor party, and they got a flaming gay comedian, and then he had to tell jokes. So like I did comedy like in a golf course while people were putting golf balls at my head. But I do this anyway. I did a wedding. If you look up comedian attacked at wedding, I got attacked at a wedding.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, because they thought I was a minister, and then this guy got mad because I called him Bon Jovi or something, and then he pushed me, and then I was like, "Don't stop believing," and it got over like 1 million hits on YouTube. So.
All right. Well, we know you're awesome. We know you're established. You've been on a lot of different things, but I want to know how did you get involved in comedy? Were you always the class clown? Just give us a quick background of.
No, I wasn't. I was in high school. I was really focused on wrestling. Like that was my whole life. I wanted to become a professional wrestler, and I didn't grow. But wrestling was like I loved wrestling, and I wrestled in college for a little bit, and then I kind of got burned out and was losing too much weight, yada yada. But then I had a talk show in college. Because I was always pranking the local show. And I'm like, I want one of these shows, right? Because I would call and be like, hey, you know Devane? I'm like, Devane on my dick, and hang up. And this was what I did my freshman year. So then they gave me my own show. It was called D's Nuts. And it was the most popular show on public access Binghamton television. It was where I went. But then it caused a riot because it was like, I had all my friends, the wrestlers, that had like a Budweiser model, a guy singing, and people were calling in and pranking me, calling me Vanilla Ice or whatever, Corey Haim or whoever. And then this girl called in and she's like, you swept me at the gym, and I'm like, I don't even know who you are. So she decided to like just defend herself on the air. So she comes out to the studio and everyone's making fun of her, and they're like, can I park my car up your snatch? Just saying horrible things. I'm laughing because it was kind of funny, but at the same time I'm also defending her. So she ends up suing the school for $20 million, suing me for $20 million, and suing this other guy for $20 million.
What happened?
And I went to the Supreme Court of New York, Brooklyn, and I knew that I had a Supreme Court, and they threw it out. And my dad was like, you go to school for 3 months, and you come home with a $20 million lawsuit, can't you just go to class like everyone else? But after that, I'm like, this is the most fun I've ever had. I want to be a talk show host. Yeah. So then I've been grinding away for 20 years. I mean, doing comedy. In the beginning was in New York City. I was doing like laundromats and supermarkets and donut shops and just horrible venues. Yeah. I was actually on True Life. I'm a comedian. Yeah. I was doing comedy in a laundromat, an actual laundromat. And then, 10 years later, I got okay at it, pretty good, and I won like a contest. They flew me to LA, and then in LA, I was I was at the Improv and I did really well. That was like the prize of the contest. I won the funniest comic in New York. It was a rigged contest. And then I ended up like, this manager saw me and then he's like, I want you to stay out here. And Anthony Clark was this big actor at the time and he was like, I want you to go on tour with me. And then that got me on the late show with Craig Kilborn. And then through that, I ended up getting on Showtime and then still grinding. I mean, just every single night of the week doing comedy, making my own shows, driving across the country, sleeping on the side of the road, just doing every shitty fucking venue to the point where I got on the Tonight Show twice. And then Last Comic Standing, I was in the finals. And now I was in China last week doing comedy. And I was the second comic in America to go to Mongolia. So I'm pretty famous in Mongolia right now.
You're big in Mongolia.
I'm bigger in Mongolia than I am in Hollywood. I swear to God, I got recognized a couple times on the streets of Mongolia. Wow. I think I found my like niche.
That's awesome.
People don't speak English.
So you just struggled. Was there ever a time where you're like, this is not lucrative, I just want to fuck it?
It's still not lucrative. But yeah, there were times, I mean, I got booked in England, and they flew me to England to do a show, and I go, what are you here for? I'm like, I'm here to do a comedy show, and the people didn't clear the working papers, so I got sent home. I got detained and sent home, and not paid. So that was like just a waste of just time. Yeah. But there were so many times where I got menus thrown in my head. I've gotten people attack me. I've gotten booed off stages where I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? Yeah. But then there are times where I get standing ovations, or people tell me like my mom died, or this happened, or that happened, and you cheered me up, or thank you, or people telling me like, those times keep me going. Yeah. But yeah, there's definitely times where I'm just like, man, what the hell am I doing?
That's amazing. It actually reminds me of having a conversation with one of my best friends. I said about myself, I can't imagine another career path that has such high highs and low lows. But now I'm starting to think that a comedian is high highs and low lows, where you're, when you're killing it on stage, you feel euphoric, and when, you're getting menus thrown at you, you're fucked.
Yeah, or bringing a date to a show, getting booed off stage, and then like sleeping with the girl before the show, and afterwards it's like, no thank you. I mean that's happened. I mean, yeah, it's just you name like you put yourself in. I've had people people chase me out of venues, and I'm like, get in the car, and they're like, let's drive away, and I was trying to make people just laugh. Yeah. Or I've gotten like the mic cut out from me, or fired halfway through the run. No. Like after the first night, like you have to leave. We hired someone else. Yeah. So it's a brutal grind, but one of the good parts about that is not everyone can't do it. Yeah. Is that most people just say fuck this and go back to being a millionaire, or go back to having their life. Yeah. So
I mean, and also another thing that you have to deal with nowadays, not 10 years ago, social media. Oh yeah. So you get hecklers on stage while you're on stage, and you get hecklers, or a.k.a. trolls, just sitting in your living room, taking a poop, whenever you're on your phone. Like you just gotta deal with that all the time. And does that ever get to you?
It doesn't. But then they're like, yesterday, I went on Twitter and someone's like, "Hey, you're a hack." I'm like, "Thank you." Yeah. Like really? That's thanks for letting me know that, dude. Yeah. But Yeah, of course. I mean, it doesn't get to me the point where I'm like, it doesn't stop my momentum, but yeah, a couple times there have been like a couple campaigns of people trying to get you fired. When I worked at Fox Sports, people were like, I made a couple jokes on MMA Roasted that I thought were okay. I mean, Dana White hired me.
Yeah.
The UFC hired me.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we want you to do these videos for us where you roast fighters, but you can't tell anyone you work for the UFC. I'm like, great, okay. And they're like, you're on your own, but we're gonna pay you.
Yeah.
Awesome. But and then when you do that, then people go like have threatened to beat you up, or you know, I would get nervous, or people to go, hey, Fox Sports, you know, you hired this guy and he's offended me, and you're like, that's where it's just like, come on.
Yeah, not a lot of. You would think that fighters would have thick skin, but we are sensitive individuals.
Most fighters do. Most fighters have thick skin. It's just a lot of times it's after the fight. Like I don't make fun of people when they get knocked out.
Yeah.
I don't make fun of people when they lose.
Yeah.
I'm never just like, you suck, LOL. You know, it's always a joke, and I usually try to make the punchline of the joke not the person that you'd expect, which is the fighter.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes when you have, you know, like a CM Punk or something where it's like so unconventional, where there's so many jokes there. That being said, I respect anybody who has the balls to get in there, because I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna go fight, and also there are so many horrible things that happen sometimes where, you know, fighting has helped get me through it. Just watching fighting.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of times, I'm having the shittiest week, and that. Hey, at least I get to watch fights this weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm happy now.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you. I mean, we're talking about fighting. It led right into my next question. MMA Roasted is your podcast, is your Twitter handle. It's a huge thing. But you're not. You know, you make jokes about other things, not just MMA. How did you get so involved in MMA, and why did you decide to take such an emphasis on MMA?
Yeah, it's sort of like I can't leave. Basically, I was opening up for John Heffron, who was a comic, and he was like, hey, I got a job hosting the MMA Awards. Will you help write sketches? So I said, sure. So I wrote a couple sketches, and they kind of went viral. And then I did that for a couple of years. I wrote like the Daniel Cormier All About the Cake one, or the Ben Askren.
Hilarious. Pause. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. If you've never seen Daniel Cormier All About the Cake, just Google it. You're welcome.
Or the Ben Askren, Hello from the Askren Side, or
I think I have seen
him
that.
as like Adele, or the Johnny Hendricks, I Can't Make the Weight When I Fight You Because I'm Hungry, or I had Uriah Faber, the Butt Chin song. So I wrote a bunch of stuff, and then Dana White personally called me. I'm like coaching wrestling, and Dana White's blowing up my phone going, hey, I want to do these videos.
Yeah.
So then for 3 years I worked for the UFC, and then Fox Sports was like, hey, we want to hire you to write these texts from last fight where you pretend your fighters texting each other.
I really loved those.
So then Fox Sports hit my podcast up. So then for a while I was working for the UFC and Fox Sports, and I was like, this is like a dream job. Mm-hmm. Then it kind of all went away. Like the UFC lost, like my boss got fired at Fox Sports. My boss left for the UFC, went to ESPN. So then I had no job. So I was like, all right, I'm taking a step back. But then Bellator hired me to like write the Fedor sweater thing, and then to do the Phil Davis one. Wow. So I was working for Bellator for a while, and then the podcast is sort of just like, you know, like really the fans keep me going. Like the fans are like, bro, your podcast gets me through my week. I love your podcast. You know, like, I'll sell out like Vegas, like an extra 300 people. Mm-hmm. People tell me, bro, like my dog passed away and I was having the worst week, but then I listen to your show. So that's what keeps me going. Yeah. The people. And I love, and it's also fun to have a gig where you get to enjoy it. Like I would do every job that I do for money, whether it's comedy, podcasting, or coaching wrestling, I would do for free. So to get paid for something that you would do for free is like the dream.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast. I actually was in the car with my friend. I remember exactly who it was. It was one of those big ones, Aubrey Marcus, or it wasn't Joe Rogan. I forget. It was another one, like one of the top, we'll say top 5. And they said podcasting. He said, I'm doing it, but I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. But he said, I would recommend it for someone who loves to do it and doesn't expect much out of it.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a safe bet for any job. If you love to do it and you're not stressed and you're not so focused on making money, I think it's a safe bet. Just do that.
1,000%.
You know, I feel that way about fighting. Of course, I want to make money, but to me, it's just about love of fighting and just wanting to win and be a better fighter. And yeah, I still am surprised to get paid to punch people in the face.
You get paid a lot more.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, you'd be set for life.
Well, that's a whole nother topic we will get into. But okay, so I won't take up much of your time. Adam has to go coach wrestling. It's so sweet. But last, so you're doing all these things. You know, you're doing the podcast, you're writing, performing. What is your ultimate goal? I mean, where would you like to be?
I want to keep doing comedy specials. Like I'm doing another album in January. I keep coming out with comedy specials. That's like my love is stand-up comedy. Then I want to make movies. You know, I wrote a movie about a wrestling team. I want to get that made. I want to produce TV shows. And I want to keep doing, like, interviewing fighters, and, like, that's what's fun. I mean, talking to fighters every day is what gets me going. Like, and that's what, like, keeps me inspired. Yeah. Because it's just such a pure, stand-up comedy is so pure. Either people laugh or they don't. Yeah. And I think same thing with, like, wrestling and fighting. Either you win or you don't. Yeah, granted, the judges could rob you, but for the most part, it's like if you get to finish, you're gonna win. Yeah. So I mean, it sounds like you're doing everything that you want to be doing in the future. You just want to keep on doing it and making more money doing it.
Yeah. Maybe on a larger scale. Yeah. But that's great. I mean, I've seen you perform numerous times. I've been on your podcast numerous times. I've try to help with your GoFundMe with your wrestling movie. Yeah. Help with so I am an Adam Hunter fan.
And I'm an Ashley Evans fan.
So I think that's why it's easy to talk to you like this, just a casual conversation. Hopefully you'll come back on my little YouTube channel.
Anything you're a part of, you want me to do, I'm in.
Awesome. And just for the fans out there, if they want to follow your awesome Twitter, where would they find you?
At Adam Comedian or at MMA ROASTED.
And if they want to listen to your podcast?
Just MMA ROASTED, put it in. It's on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Pluto TV.
And if they want to see you perform live?
AdamHunter.com.
Okay.
I have my whole schedule.
All right. Hopefully we get to have you on my little show again.
I love it. You let me know. I'll be here.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
That's it.